A brothel is a place where people may come to engage in sexual activity with a prostitute, sometimes referred to as a sex worker. Technically, any premises where prostitution commonly takes place qualifies as a brothel. However, for legal or cultural reasons, establishments sometimes describe themselves as massage parlors, bars, strip clubs, houses of ill repute, body rub parlors, studios, or by some other description. Sex work in a brothel is considered safer than street prostitution. Etymology: from the French Bordel, California, 1200 bordel, sing, prostitution place. The French word bordel comes from the Old German word Bord, which means board. This word was used to describe the shacks made of boards in which prostitution occurred. The word board was firstly transformed by the French to board, then quickly became bordel. Brothels are known under a variety of names, including bordello, cathouse, house of ill fame, house of prostitution, house of ill repute, strippy, knocking shop, pleasure house, strumpet house, sporting house, or whorehouse. Under English criminal law, a brothel is commonly referred to as a disorderly house. Business models: brothels are businesses in which sex workers provide sexual services to their patrons. Brothels vary in size, style, and range of services offered. They operate using a variety of business models, including: its prostitutes may operate as contract workers who pay part of their earnings to the brothel. They may at times be expected to tip, support staff. They will usually not receive benefits, such as health insurance, or tax withholding. Its prostitutes may be employees who receive a small fixed salary and a portion of the money paid by the customer, the balance of which is retained by the brothel. Its prostitutes may pay a fee for use of brothel facilities, with the brothel owner not being involved in the financial transaction between a prostitute and client. Its prostitutes may be forcibly held as sex slaves, forced to engage in prostitution under threat of violence. In most cases, prostitutes are at liberty to determine whether they will engage in a particular type of sexual activity. But forced prostitution exists in most places around the world, as does sexual slavery. Prostitution and the operation of brothels are legal in some countries, but illegal in others. In countries where prostitution or the operation of brothels is illegal, establishments providing sex services may describe themselves as bars, massage parlors, saunas, spas, strip clubs, or some other front. Even in countries where prostitution and brothels are legal, brothels may be subject to many and varied restrictions. Forced prostitution is usually illegal, as is prostitution by or with minors, though the age restriction may vary. Some countries prohibit particular sex acts. In some countries, brothels are subject to strict planning restrictions and in some cases are confined to designated red light districts. Some countries prohibit or regulate how brothels advertise their services, or they may prohibit the sale or consumption of alcohol on the premises. In some countries where operating a brothel is legal, some brothel operators may choose to operate illegally. Legal status. Attitudes around the world to prostitution and how it should be regulated vary considerably, and have varied over time. Part of the discussion impacts on whether the operation of brothels should be legal, and if so, to the regulations they should be subjected to. On the 2nd of December 1949, the United Nations General Assembly approved the Convention for the Suppression of the Traffic in Persons and of the Exploitation of the Prostitution of Others. The convention came into effect on 25 July 1951 and as of December 2013 has been ratified by 82 states. The convention seeks to combat prostitution, which it regards as incompatible with the dignity and worth of the human person. Parties to the convention agreed to abolish regulation of individual prostitutes and to ban brothels and procuring. Some countries not parties to the convention also ban prostitution or the operation of brothels. Various United Nations commissions, however, have differing positions on the issue. For example, in 2012, a joint United Nations program on HIV/AIDS convened by Ban Ki-moon and backed by United Nations Development Programme and UNAIDS, recommended decriminalization of brothels and procuring. In the European Union, there is no uniform policy and no consensus on the issue, and laws vary widely from country to country. Netherlands and Germany have the most liberal policies. In Sweden, the buying, but not selling, of sex is illegal. In most former communist countries, the laws target the prostitutes, while in countries such as the UK, Ireland and France, the act of prostitution is not itself illegal, but soliciting, pimping and brothels are, making it difficult to engage in prostitution without breaking any law. The European Women's Lobby condemns prostitution as an intolerable form of male violence, and supports the Swedish model. In February 2014, the members of the European Parliament voted in a non-binding resolution in favor of the Swedish model of criminalizing the buying, but not the selling of sex. Prostitution and the operation of brothels is illegal in many countries. Though known illegal brothels may be tolerated, all laws not strictly enforced. Such situations exist in many parts of the world, but the region most often associated with these policies is Asia. When brothels are illegal, they may nevertheless operate in the guise of a legitimate business, such as massage parlors, saunas or spas. In other places, prostitution itself may be legal, but many activities which surround it are illegal, often making it very difficult for people to engage in prostitution without breaking any law. This is the situation, for example, in the United Kingdom, Italy and France. In a few countries, prostitution and operating a brothel is legal and regulated. The degree of regulation varies widely by country. Most of these countries allow brothels, at least in theory, as they are considered to be less problematic than street prostitution. In parts of Australia, for example, brothels are legal and regulated. Regulation includes planning controls and licensing and registration requirements, and there may be other restrictions. However, the existence of licensed brothels does not stop illegal brothels from operating. According to a report in the Daily Telegraph, illegal brothels in Sydney in 2009 outnumbered licensed operations by 4-1, while in Queensland only 10% of prostitution happens in licensed brothels, with the rest being either unregulated or illegal. The Netherlands has one of the most liberal prostitution policies in the world, and attracts sex tourists from many other countries. Amsterdam is well known for its red light district and is a destination for sex tourism. Germany also has very liberal prostitution laws. The largest brothel in Europe is the Pascha in Cologne, although the Duma Hotel in Butte, Montana operated legally from 1890 until 1982. Brothels are currently illegal throughout the United States. Except in rural Nevada, prostitution outside these licensed brothels is illegal throughout the state. All forms of prostitution are illegal in Clark County, which contains the Las Vegas Paradise metropolitan area.